Bakit ka ay ayos naman? Mhm. Naka-live tayo eh. Live. Oh. Ba't wala akong sound? Siya. Di yata tayo matutuloy ngayon na. Ayun. Okay. Siguro ayos na itong aking ipe-present na aray. Hello, hello. Yan. Buti na lang nagkameron. Ayan. Tagal na mo mag-play. Mabagal na yung aking ano. Skip muna, skip. Skip muna. Tapos tayo ay pumunta dito sa tayo mag-ano muna. Bumagal ang aking internet oh. Bagal yung aking Ayun. Siguro naman meron na itong manonood. Yan. Yan. Sige. Play tayo, play. Siguro meron na diyang papasok pa isa-isa. Yan. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Sa gabi pong ito, atin pong pag-aaralan. Hindi naman po pag-aaralan, tayo po yung magre-review ng ilang topics about RME review. Ibang mga topics na... So, meron po akong pinipare na 100 questions para po tayo ay ma-refresh dyan po sa ating registered master electricians review. Okay. So, siguro pwede na nating simulan. Tayo pa yung magsisimula na. So, RME review. Ito yung kaunahan kong naka-prepare na presentation. Ayan. Permanent magnet moving coil instrument can be used in blank. So, A, AC work only. B, both DC and AC work. And C, DC work only. D, neither. O wala dun sa DC or AC works. Pag neither po kasi ay ibig sabihin ay wala dun sa dalawa. Okay? So, yun po. So, ang tama pong sagot ay letter C. Sa direct current work only. So, doon lang po, dyan lang po yun. Okay? So, number 2. On a simple ohmmeter, the 0 ohms is located blank of the scale. So, saan po ba makikita yan? On a simple ohmmeter, the 0 ohms is located blank of the scale at far right, anywhere, at far left, in the middle. So, kapag naka-0 ka, so ibig sabihin yan ay walang reading. So, kapag yung ohmmeter natin, pinag-short circuit natin, magkaka-reading yun, napalo yun, di ba? So, nasaan po yung 0 nung ating ohmmeter? Siyempre, yan po ay nadun sa at far right. At far right. Okay? At far right. Number 3. The pointer of an indicating instrument is generally made of blank. Generally made of blank ba yan? So, that is generally made of aluminum. So, letter D. So, letter D po ang tamang sagot. Aluminum. So, silver, copper, gold. Siyempre, kapag silver at saka gold, medyo mahal-mahal na yan. So, correct answer is letter D, aluminum. Number 4, measurement of high direct current voltages or yung DC voltages natin is usually done by using blank. So ano bang ginagamit natin dyan? A. Dynamometer. B. Electrostatic. C. Thermocouple. Or D. PMMC. PMMC. O yung PMMC, permanent magnet moving coil. So correct answer is electrostatic. So that is electrostatic. Okay. Number 5. What do you call an oscilloscope that uses sampling techniques in processing signals having frequencies beyond its normal capabilities? Okay, what do you call an oscilloscope that uses sampling techniques in processing signals having frequencies beyond its normal capabilities? Correct answer, sampling oscilloscope. Nandun na po sa tanong, sampling techniques, sampling oscilloscope. Number 6. What damping method is used in induction type ammeters? So, is that fluid damping, air friction, letter C, electrostatic damping, or letter D, eddy current damping? So, what is the correct answer? So, correct answer is eddy current damping. Okay? So, medyo ayusin lang natin yung ating presentation ha. Wait lang po. Kasi medyo natatakloban tayo ng ating webcam. Lipat natin sa kabila. Yan. Okay. Play na ulit tayo. Number ano ba tayo? Number 6. Eddy current damping tayo. Number 7. Electrodynamometer can be used to measure blank. Dynamic resistance, AC, AC and DC, or DC. So, electrodynamometer can be used to measure dynamic resistance, AC, letter C, AC and DC, or D, DC. Correct answer, both AC and DC. Okay. Blank meter is the most sensitive. So, 1 milliampere, A. B is 1 microampere. C is 1 ampere. And D is 10 milliampere. So, which of the following is the most sensitive? So, correct answer po natin ay letter B. 1 microampere. Okay? 1 microampere. Number 9. Which dynamometer type has uniform scale? Which dynamometer type has uniform scale? A. Wattmeter. B. Voltmeter. C. Ohmmeter. Or D. Ammeter. Which dynamometer type has uniform scale? So, correct answer po natin ay letter A. So, that is a wattmeter. Wattmeter. Number 10. Error in voltmeter reading is due to blank. Due to blank. Error in voltmeter reading is due to blank. So, saan po nagkakaroon ng error yan? Sa voltmeter. Conversion, loading, insertion, battery, aging. So, alin po dyan? So, correct answer is loading. So, sa paglo-load. Error in voltmeter reading is due to loading. Okay. 11. Which is the best type of ammeter movement? A. Moving iron. B. Iron wave. C. D'Arson ball. Or D. Dynamometer. So, correct answer po natin dito ay D'Arson ball meter. So, number 11, D'Arson ball meter. So, bali, may natanong po ako na nag-review din po sa amin dati. Natanong ko siya kung marami bang lumabas dun sa mga questions na ibinibigay namin sa kanila habang nagre-review pa sila sa amin. Way back 2019 pa yata yun kasi di pa nagpa-pandemic 2020 na rin. Inabot nga kami ng pandemic kasi March nagkaroon ng lockdown. April yung exam sana. So tapos na cancel. So yun. Ang dami pa rin daw na lumabas na galing dun sa mga ginamit naming mga questionnaires. So ito yung mga ginagamit kong questionnaires, kaya lang hindi na kami makapagpa-review ng face-to-face kasi ang hirap din naman kasi magpa-review ng face-to-face. Siguro subukan ko rin. Pero ito, ginagawa na natin ng paraan para ma-reach out namin kayo. Kahit po kayo ay nasa bahay lang, re-review. Pwede na rin po sigurong ganito na lang muna. Live lang muna tayo sa YouTube. And then pagdating sa siguro saka tayo mag face to face uli pagka okay na ang lahat. Okay, number 12. Shunts in meters should have a blank temperature coefficient of resistance. Shunts in meters should have a blank temperature coefficient of resistance. So that is very small temperature coefficient. Okay, so number 12. Very small temperature coefficient of resistance sa shunts in meters. Tandaan niyo po yan, ha. 13. Low pressure in fluorescent tube is obtained by blank. Ano ba dyan na nakakapagpa-obtain dyan? So, correct answer is low current density. So, letter C, low current density. So, low pressure in fluorescent tube is obtained by low current density. So, ang dami na kasing, ito na rin talaga yung mga tinatanong ko doon sa aming mga pa-review. Sa awa naman ng Diyos, nagkakaroon pa rin ng top na chair. Saka, syempre, masipag din naman talaga yung naging estudyante namin na yun. Number 14, the first object of a lighting system is to provide adequate illumination on the working space. For proper design, the effects of the surroundings must be taken into account and the factors are blank. A. Finish of ceiling and walls, proportion of rooms and temperatures. B. Height of light fittings, room temperature and color of ceiling and walls. Color of ceiling and walls, proportion of rooms, window space. Letter D, finish of windows, proportion of rooms, and temperature. Okay. So, ulitin natin yung tanong. The first object of lighting system is to provide adequate illumination on the working space. Okay. Yung sa lighting system natin, sa illumination on working space. For proper design, the effects of the surroundings must be taken into account and the factors are blank. So, A, B, C, or D. So, correct answer natin ay letter C. Color of the ceilings and walls, proportion of rooms, and window space. So, kung malaki ba yung ating bintana o kung maliit lang. So, yung height of light fitting sa letter B. So, hindi na masyadong yan. So, letter A. Ano ba yung sa temperature naman yung letter A? Temperature. Letter D naman, temperature din. Tsaka yung finish of windows. Kasi window space, yung kung gaano kalaki yung ano. So, yung kung kahoy ba ang ginamit mo o glass, pwedeng may factor din. Okay, so correct answer is letter C. Number 15. Although the average efficiency of 400 watts high pressure mercury vapor lamp is high, its main disadvantage are blank. Although the average efficiency of a 400 watts high pressure mercury vapor lamp is high, its main disadvantage are blank. So A, high cost, color distortion, and high copper loss. Color distortion, stroboscopic effect, and cannot be started immediately. Okay. Need sa capacitor, choking coil, and a starter. And letter D, high cost, cannot be started immediately, and high copper loss. Correct answer is letter B. So, keyword mo dyan, stroboscopic effect. Okay, stroboscopic effect. Number 16. The illumination at a point, a surface is the luminous flux per unit area of the surface. And its unit is what? Luminous flux per unit area. What is its unit? So, correct answer is lux. Luminous flux, lux. Luminous flux per unit area, lux. 17. Luminous intensity is defined as luminous intensity. So, luminous flux per unit solid angle, illumination per square meter, candela per unit solid angle, or lumens per square meter. Luminous intensity is defined as luminous flux per unit solid angle. So, correct answer is A. Okay. 18. The luminous intensity of a lamp is expressed in blank. The luminous intensity of a lamp is expressed in blank. So, lux, watts, lumens, candela. So, correct answer is candela. So, kanina kasi, luminous flux per unit area. Lux yun. Ito naman, intensity, candela naman ang tawag natin dyan. Candela. Okay. What will happen to a DC shunt motor if the load torque greatly increases? Shunt motor. Direct current shunt motor. Kapag nilakihan natin yung torque, yung load torque, tinaasa natin, ano daw mangyayari? A, there will be a great increase in current and the speed almost remains constant. The speed will decrease. There will be a great increase in current. The speed almost remains constant. Correct answer is A. There will be a great increase in current. Siyempre kapag nabibigatan ka, kailangan mo ng mas malakas na puwersa. So, yun yung current natin. And the speed almost remains constant. So, yung speed natin, parehas pa rin. Pero yung ating current, lumalaki ng lumalaki. Tumataas ang tumataas. So, DC shunt motor. 20. An advantage of 240 volt system compared with a 120 volt system of the same wattage is blank. An advantage of 240 volt system compared with a 120 volt system of the same wattage is blank. Reduce voltage drop, reduce power used, large currents, lower electrical pressure. So, correct answer is, alam natin yan. Reduce voltage drop. So, simple lang. VIR. Okay? PIV. Okay. So, Siguro tayo po ay mag 20 questions muna. After, siguro mag-break lang muna ako ng kaunti. Medyo namamala tayo ng kaunti. Escape. Okay. So, nandito na po ulit tayo. Number 20. An underwater swimmer shines a flashlight beam upward at an angle of incidence of 40 degrees. The angle of refraction is 60 degrees. The index of refraction of water is blank. Actually, ito po naman ay yung index of refraction of water, kalimitan binibigay na constant na to. Pero yung iba, ino-compute nila to. So, correct answer dyan po ay 1.3. So, letter B. 21 is letter B, 1.3. Number 22, the depth of an object submerged in a transparent liquid is blank. The depth of an object in a transparent in a transparent liquid is blank. So correct answer is so always seem less than its actual depth. So correct answer is letter D. Correct answer is letter D. Number 22 is letter D. Okay, so number 23. The real image formed by a spherical mirror is blank relative to its object. Erect, smaller, larger, inverted. Spherical. So, spherical mirror. So, hindi yung basta yung mirror yung katulad na nakikita natin sa sa yung mirror na ginagamit natin bago pumasok sa school o bago pumasok sa opisina. So ano daw yon? Yung spherical mirror, ano daw magiging image mo kapag sa spherical mirror ka nagtingin? So correct answer is larger. Siyempre mukhang lalawak ka, lalaki ka. 24, the principle of working of a high pressure mercury vapour lamp is that blank. The principle of working of a high pressure mercury vapour lamp is that blank. So correct answer is the radiation is produced directly by the discharge. So sa high pressure mercury vapour lamp, the radiation is produced directly by the discharge. So yung pong mga nakapag-review na po sa amin, binigyan po namin yan ng hard copy para sila po ay para po sila ay makapag ma-review nila. At habang pag nasa kanila, sabi ko every Saturday, so dapat meron na silang baon na alam para pag nagkatanungan kami, meron na agad silang isasagot. Ganun po ang aking practice sa aking pa-review po. Number 25, push-pull buttons are generally used because blank. They are smaller in size than standard push buttons. They contain larger contacts that can withstand more current than standard push buttons. They can perform more than one function, while only requiring the space of one single function push button. For letter D, they are larger in size than standard push buttons, making them more visible to an operator. Push-pull buttons are generally used because they can perform more than one function while only requiring the space of one single function push button. So, ginagamit po yung push-pull buttons. Pwedeng, kasi, pag naka-on, o maaring ang on niya ay yung ilalim, yung off niya yung ibabaw, kasi meron niyang mga dalawang kontak sa niya. So, dalawahang kontak na agad ang ginagawa niya. Yung isa, ini-open niya, yung isa, ini-close niya. So, kaya they can perform more than one function. Number 26, the symbol shown is a blank. So, that is a normally open contact. Normally open contact. Actually, ito po ay nakatagilid. Meron po kasing mga symbol na ginagamit ng naka-vertical. Pero ito po ay, kung tayo po ay masanay dun sa naka-twist siya, iti-twist lang natin ng 90 degrees yan, masanay tayo dun. Open contact yan. Normally open contact. 27, what device is generally used by lighted push buttons to reduce the voltage applied to the lamp? What device is generally used by lighted push buttons to reduce the voltage applied to the lamp? So, series resistor, B, transformer, C, series capacitor, or D, series inductor. Correct answer is transformer. So, sa transformer po tayo kumukuha ng supply para dun sa ating lighted push buttons. So, para bumaba yung ating voltage para dun sa ating lighted push buttons. The symbol shown is a blank. Iron core transformer, auto transformer, current transformer, air core transformer. The symbol shown is a blank. Iron core transformer, auto transformer, current transformer, air core transformer. So, iron core transformer, letter A. Letter A. Letter A. 29. So, what is this symbol? Normally closed, float switch. Normally open, float switch. Normally open, held closed, float switch. Or normally closed, held open, float switch. So, hindi po yan normally closed float switch. Pero naka-close siya. Ang normally closed po niyan, ito pong contact na to, nandun sa ibabaw. Kasi magkakatubig sa ilalim. Pag tumaas yung tubig sa ilalim, mag-o-open siya. Ito, sagad na agad siya eh. Float switch siya. Kaya ang tamang sagot po dyan ay letter C. Normally open, held, closed, float switch. Number 30. Blank are designed to open the circuit when the current becomes 115% to 125% of the motor full load current. Blank are designed to open the circuit when the current becomes 115% to 125% of the motor full load current. So, overload relay, circuit breaker, fuses, switches. Open the circuit. So, i-open natin yung circuit natin. So, overload relay. Okay. So, actually, when the current becomes 115%, so nasa current tayo ngayon. So, dapat patataasin natin ng kaunti yung current para kaunting taas lang yun para mag-open yung circuit natin. Yung circuit breaker naman, talagang short circuit yan. Putol yung ating linya. Overload relay, sa mga motor yan kailangan. 31. Blank means to start a motor with short jobs of power at reduced voltage. So, jogging, inching, stopping, jobbing. So, alin dyan sa apat na yan? To start a motor with short jobs of power. Kumbaga, sa Tagalog, kinakadyot-kadyot lang. Oh. Kumbaga sa mga driver, kadyotin mo lang kaunti. So, correct answer is inching. Uti-uti. Ini-inch. Inuuti-uti natin. Inching ang tawag doon. Okay. At reduced voltage yan Inching, uti-uti. 32. The sole purpose of commutator. Okay, nag-chat Message retracted. Ba't kaya? Ano yun? Hindi ko nabasa yun. The sole purpose of a commutator in DC generator is to blank. The sole purpose of a commutator in a DC generator is to blank. Commutator. So, ano bang ginagawa ni commutator? Simple lang. Convert induced alternating current to direct current. Okay. So, hello. Yan. Okay na uli. Number 34. The commercial efficiency of a shunt generator. So, nandito na tayo sa mahalagang bagay na ito. The commercial efficiency of a shunt generator is maximum when its variable loss equals blank. Variable loss equals blank loss. Okay. Correct answer po na ay constant loss. So, that is constant loss. Number 35. In a DC generator, the generated electromotive force is directly proportional to the blank. So, may tanong po tayo dito, sir, anong year po pwede kumuha ng RME? So, 18 years old pataas po, dapat po kayo, ayan. Ano po ba talagang tanong, Mr. Decision-wise? Anong year? So, dapat po kayo ay pinaka mababang edad ay 18 years old. Okay? And then, dapat kayo po ay at least nakapag-aral. Kung kayo po ay high school graduate, dapat po kayo merong 5 years of experience. At least 5 years of experience. Pero kung kayo naman ay nakatapos ng electrician's course, meron tayong tinatawag na 2 years of study, 2 years of experience. Meron din namang tinatawag na 3 years of study, 1 year of experience. And then 1 year of study, 3 years of experience. And then high 5 yung isa, high school graduate ka, 5 years of experience at least. So yun po yun, Mr. Decision Wise. So in a DC generator, the generated electromotive force is directly proportional to the blank. Field current, pole flux, number of armature parallel paths, or number of dummy coils. So, alin po diyan? So, in a DC generator, the generated electromotive force is directly proportional to the pole flux. Pole flux. Okay? Nawala na tayo dito. Excuse me. Sorry. The basic requirement of a DC armature winding is that it must be a blank. So, the basic requirement of a DC armature winding is that it must be blank. So, it must be a closed one. It must be a closed one. Letter A. Okay? Letter A po. The DC armature winding in which coil sides are a pole pitch apart. So, meron tayong pole pitch apart. Is called blank winding. So, meron tayong pag-itan. Meron tayong pole pitch apart. So, what is that called? So, correct answer is full pitch winding. Full pitch winding. 38. Which one of the following types of generators does not need equalizers for satisfactory parallel operation? Which one of the following types of generators does not need equalizers for satisfactory parallel operation? A. Series, B. Over compound, C. Flat compound, or D. Under compound. Correct answer po natin ay under compound. So letter D, dog. D. 39. The simplest way to shift load from one DC shunt generator running in parallel with another is to blank. The simplest way to shift load from one DC generator, shunt generator, running in parallel with another is to blank. So you must adjust their field rheostat. Adjust their field rheostat. Letter A. So kung gusto nyo pong makakuha ng kopya nito, pwede po kayong bigay ng email address diyan sa ating live chat box. Okay? Para bigay nyo lang po yung email ad nyo, bibigyan ko po kayo ng kopya nito. Number 40. Point out the wrong statement in DC generators. Commutation can be improved by blank. Point out the wrong statement in DC generators. Commutation can be improved by blank. Using interpoles, using carbon brushes in place of copper brushes, shifting brush axis in the direction of armature rotation, o wala dun sa mga nabanggit, letter D. Alin daw ang maling statement sa DC generator? Commutation can be improved by blank. Alin dyan ang hindi? So, correct answer, lahat po yan ay ginagamit para ma-improve yung ating commutation. Pagdating sa DC generators natin. Okay? So, ayun po yan. The main function of interpoles is to minimize blank between the brushes and the commutator when the DC machine is loaded. So, the main function of interpoles is to minimize between the brushes and the commutator when the DC machine is loaded. O, alin daw dyan ang ginagawa ni interpoles? Function of interpoles. So, correct answer is sparking. Para mawala yung sparking natin, so nilalagyan natin siya ng interpoles. 42. In DC generators, armature reaction is produced actually by blank. In DC generators, armature reaction is produced actually by blank. A. Its field current. B. Armature conductors. Field pole winding, letter C. Or D. Load current in armature. Load current in armature. Correct answer is load current in armature. So, letter D, dog. Letter D. Number 42, D. Ay, yung mga gusto pong magkaroon ng kopya ng hard copy nito, o ng soft copy lang pala, hard copy tuloy. Pwede ko po kayong bigyan ng kopya nito. Email ko na lang yung mga tanong na kailangan ninyo. So, number 43. In a DC generator, the effect of armature reaction on the main pole flux is to blank. The effect of armature reaction on the main pole flux is to blank. So, correct answer is reduce it and distort it. So, letter D, dog. DC generator, the effect of armature reaction on the main pole flux is to reduce and distort. Okay, number 44. Electroplating uses a blank generator. Electroplating uses a blank generator. So, correct answer is separately excited generator. So, letter D, dog. Separately excited generator. Number 45. Teka, check ko lang Baka mamaya hindi na ako naka-live. Nako, wala na yata talaga ako. Biglang naputol yata ako eh. Naka-live pa ba ako? Live pa daw. Kaya lang mabagal yung ating ano. Siya, nawala na tayo. Yun. Yan. Sige, bibigyan ko kayo ng ano. Bibigyan ko kayo ng kopya. Ipadala nyo lang po yung inyong mga email address na yan. jandeldeguzman@gmail.com and grimreaper26@gmail.com. Sige, bibigyan ko po kayo. Papadala ko po sa inyong mga email address. Okay, diretso ulit tayo. Live ulit tayo. Nawala tayo kanina eh. Biglang nawala. Yan. Electroplating. Okay, separately excited siya. Separately excited. An instrument or device having recognized permanent or stable value is used as a blank. An instrument or device having recognized permanent or stable value is used as a blank. So, correct answer natin po dito ay, ano ba yan? Reference instrument, device, standard instrument, device, ideal instrument, or fixed instrument device. Recognize permanent or stable. Permanent or stable. So that is our standard instrument device. Okay. Instrument device. Number 46. Hindi ko nakikita yung ibang mga chat. But pagdating doon sa akin, nakikita ko. A type dip meter employing a vacuum tube oscillator whose indicating DC microammeter is in the grid circuit. Okay, a type dip meter employing a vacuum tube oscillator whose indicating DC microammeter is in the grid circuit. So correct answer is letter D, grid dip meter. 47. The total opposition to the flow of alternating current is blank. Total opposition to the flow of current is blank. Resistance, induction, impedance, or capacitance. Opposition. So, siya po ang sumasalubong daw kay alternating current. So, correct answer is impedance. Correct answer is letter C, impedance. Okay. Alternating current po kasi yan eh. Kung direct current, resistance lang. Tamang sagot. Kapag alternating current, impedance na yan. So, pinagsama-sama na yan. Resistance, induction, capacitance. Okay. 48. Three-phase currents are generally out of phase by blank degrees. Is generally out of phase by blank degrees. So, 360. O, di-divide ng 3 natin yan. So, tatlong pase naman yan eh. So, 120 degrees. So, dapat 120 degrees ang kanilang pagitan. Sensitivity of a voltmeter is expressed in blank. Sensitivity of a voltmeter is expressed in blank. So, correct answer is ohms per volt. Ohms per volt. Letter C po, letter C. Ohms per volt. Number 5. Magnetic material. Conductor and magnetic material. Non-conductor and non-magnetic material. Parang parang positive, negative, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive, positive. Ganun lang. So, this is made of what material in eddy current damping? So, correct answer is conductor. Conductor siya, pero hindi siya magnetic. Okay. Conductor siya, pero siya ay hindi magnetic. Ano bang mga example ng conductor but not magnetic? Example, copper. So, copper, hindi na magnet yan, pero conductor yan. Aluminum, di ba? Ganun yan. 51. Blank is the ratio of the output to input. Output to input. Output over input. So, that is efficiency. Efficiency po yan. Number 51. So, kung gusto nyo pong medyo lang kayo, manood lang po kayo dito para kayo ay makasabay. So, pwede po kasi kayong magtanong pati sa live chat dito para rheostat. Rheostat, ano nga ba yung parang yun yung iniikot na parang ano ang tawag? Potentiometer. Yan. Parang potentiometer siya. Nagba-vary yung kanyang tawag dito? Yung kanyang resistance. Nagba-vary yung kanyang resistance. So, that is your rheostat, Mr. Decision-wise. Okay? Tama. Ang galing mo 120. Ang tamang sagot. Okay. So, number 52. The voltage produced by electromagnetic induction is controlled by blank. The voltage produced by electromagnetic induction is controlled by blank. So, what is the correct answer? The number of lines of flux cut per second, the size of the magnet, eddy currents, or the number of turns? Electromagnetic induction is controlled by blank. Correct answer is letter A. The number of lines of flux cut per second. Okay. So, Mr. Decision-wise, ikaw po ba'y taga saan? Mr. Decision-wise. Ikaw po ba'y graduate din dito sa ating school? Number 53. Which of the following has the highest dielectric strength to the electrical breakdown? Dielectric strength to electrical breakdown. Okay. except for Hello? When should a fuse be replaced with a higher rated unit? So, correct answer po dito ay never. So, wag mong papalitan ang inyong fuse ng basta-basta. Yung rating ng fuse mo. Kung 30 amperes, dapat 30 amperes din ipapalit ninyo. Okay? Nawala na nga yata ako ng sound. Wala na tayong sound ah. Lagay natin sa live. Hello. Yan. Nawala eh. Nawala tayo eh. Baka meron na yan. Ito yun eh. Hindi siya nagbabato ng ano. Wala pa din. Wala. Other factors remaining the same, the effect on the current flow in the circuit would cause blank the current to blank if would cause the current to blank if the applied voltage was doubled. Other factors remaining the same, the effect on the current flow in the circuit would cause the current to blank if the applied voltage was doubled. Okay, so A double, B divided by 2, C remain the same, D increase 4 times. Increase 4 times, remain the same, divided by 2, double. Correct answer is A, double. Correct answer is A, double. Number 64. A mil is what part of an inch? Naku, pinag-aaralan to sa ano. Pinag-aaralan to sa circuits 1. A mil is what part of an inch? Tsaka sa ano? Saan ba pinag-aralan pa to? Sa ano nga, sa circuits 1, tinuturo to. So, correct answer is 1,000 of an inch is a mil. 1,000 of an inch is a mil. Number 64. 65. A substance whose molecules consist of the same kind of atoms is called blank. A substance whose molecules consist of the same kind of atoms is called blank. The correct answer is element. Letter C. Element. Letter C. Number 66. Electrons in the last orbit of an atom are called blank electrons. Yung nasa kahulihan. So, correct answer dyan po ay banggitin muna natin yung ABCD. A, bound. B, free. C, atomic. Or D, valence electrons. So, pinag-aralan yan simula pa nung third year tayo, high school. Letter D, valence electrons. Letter D, valence electrons. Number 67, the hot resistance of a 100 watt incandescent bulb is about blank times its cold resistance. The hot resistance of a 100 watt incandescent bulb is about blank times its cold resistance. Correct answer po natin, 10 times. 10 times po tayo, 10 times. So, the hot resistance of a 100 watt incandescent bulb is about 10 times its cold resistance. Number 68. The purpose of load in an electrical circuit is to blank. Halimbawa, meron kang gamit, ilaw. Anong ginagawa ng ilaw sa ating electrical circuit? Anong ginagawa ng plancha? Anong ginagawa ng TV? Anong ginagawa ng charger ng cellphone? Ginagawa niya. It utilizes electrical energy. So, letter A. Utilize electrical energy. Number 69. A device for making, breaking, or changing connections in a circuit under load is a blank. A, inductor. B, growler. C, relay. Or D, switch. Correct answer is switch. Letter D, switch. 70. What relationship determines the efficiency of electrical equipment? What relationship determines the efficiency of electrical equipment? So, the power input divided by the output. Volt amps times the wattage. The VA, volt ampere, divided by the power factor or PF. The power output divided by the input. So, correct answer po natin dito, parang naitanong na kanina, efficiency. So, that is output over input. Output divided by the input. Okay. 71. The conductance of a conductor is the case in which current flows through it. It is measured in blank. Oy, conductance of a conductor. Anong unit niya? So, Farad, Henry, Vars, Mohs. So, ang conductance ay kabaliktaran po ng resistance. Ang resistance, ang unit niya ay ohms. So, kapag binaliktad natin yung ohms, ang tamang sagot ay mohs. Letter D. Or meron pang ibang unit yan. tinatawag nating Siemens. Okay. Siemens. S-I-E-M-E-N-S. 72. 18 resistances each. 36 ohms are connected in parallel. The total resistance would be blank. So, meron ka 18 resistance. 36 ohms ang rating ng bawat isa. Ano ang mangyayari dyan? Ano ang total resistance natin? So, isipin nyo, nakaparallel ha. Since pare-parehas naman silang 36 ohms. So, i-divide lang natin siya kung ilan yung resistor na ginamit natin. So, since 18 ito, so 36 yung ating rating, i-divide 18 lang natin. So, correct answer is 2. We have 2 ohms. 73. Electrical appliances are not connected in series because. So, bakit daw hindi po natin ginagawang nakaseries yung ating mga appliances? A. Series circuit are complicated. B. Appliances have different current rating. C. The power loss is too great. Or D. The voltage is the same. Series circuit are complicated. Appliances have different current rating. The power loss is too great. Or D. The voltage is the same. Anong sagot si decision wise? Wala pang sagot. So, sagutin na natin. Medyo mabagal yung dating nung ano eh. So, correct answer is B. Appliances have different current rating. Letter B. Magkakaibang current rating. Yung TV, kamisan, rating niya 6 amperes. Meron kayo makita dyan. 6 amperes. Merong rating ng iba. 20 amperes. Mga ano na. Yung mga mabibigat na. Tulad ng mga... Okay, number 74. A capacitor opposes blank. Anong ino-oppose ni capacitor? Both change in voltage and current, change in current, change in voltage, none of this. Parehong change, ano? Pare-pareho, ano? Change in voltage and current. Change in current, change in voltage. So, wala doon sa pamimilian. Kapag capacitor, kapag kasi inductor, ay lagi ang naalala ko, inductor, current. So, capacitor, voltage. So, letter C, voltage. 75. Permanent magnet use blank as the magnetic material. Permanent magnet use blank as the magnetic material. Anong ginagamit ng as the magnetic material ng permanent magnet natin? Nickel, iron, hardened steel, soft steel. Correct answer is hardened steel. Kanina yung ano natin, yung temporary magnet, soft iron ang tawag. Ngayon, hardened steel naman kapag permanent magnet. Okay. 76. The armature current drawn by any DC motor is proportional to the blank. The armature current drawn by any direct current motor is proportional to the blank. Motor speed, voltage applied, flux required, or the torque applied. Correct answer natin po ay voltage applied. So, the armature current drawn by any DC motor is proportional to the voltage applied. Okay. A component having no continuity would have blank resistance. A component having no continuity would have blank resistance. Kapag walang continuity, ibig sabihin, open yan. Open. Ano daw ang resistance? High, low, infinite, or zero? High, low, infinite, or zero? Pagka no continuity, ibig sabihin yung tester natin, wala tayong ginagawa doon sa tester natin. So yung ating reading, syempre, infinite. Letter C. Letter C. Okay. Number 78. Basically, all electric motors operate on the principle of repulsion of blank. Electric motors. Magnetism, repulsion of magnetism, repulsion of induction, repulsion of resistance, or repulsion of capacitance. All electric motors operate on the principle of repulsion of induction. Okay. Ng mga motor. So maximum ambient temperature ng operating class B motor is 40 degrees Celsius. 40 degrees Celsius. Letter B, boy. Okay. Okay. Number 80. O, malapit na. Nas 20 questions. Bali 21 kasama yung number 80. The change in direction of light passing from one area to another of different density is called blank. Actually, physics na yata ito eh. Bakit napasama to dito sa ating ano? The change in direction of light passing from one area to another of different density is called blank. So, correct answer is refraction. Refraction. So, parang sa sa baso, nakita kayo ng baso. May tubig sa loob tapos nilagyan mo ng kutsara, ganun. 81, inductance in a circuit blank. Delays the change current, prevents current from changing, causes power loss, causes current to lead voltage. Ano daw ang ginagawa ng inductance sa circuit? So, correct answer is delays change in current. Okay. Delays change in current. Letter A. Correct answer is A. Number 81. Number 82. The AC system is preferred to the DC system because blank. DC voltage cannot be used for domestic appliances. Pwede naman. DC motors do not have speed control. Pwede rin. AC voltages can be easily changed in magnitude. Letter D, high voltage AC transmission is less efficient. Parang negative yun di ah. So, correct answer is letter C. AC voltages can easily change in magnitude. Okay. So, pwedeng mabago yung magnitude niya. 83. The breakdown voltage of an insulation depends upon blank value of AC voltage. The breakdown voltage of an insulation depends upon blank value of AC voltage. So, correct answer is So, RMS ba, effective, peak, or 1.73 peak? So, correct answer is peak value of AC voltage. Breakdown voltage of an insulation depends upon the peak value of alternating current voltage, AC voltage. 84. For the same rating, the size of three-phase motor will be blank a single-phase motor. More than, same as, less than, none of these. For the same rating, the size of three-phase motor will be blank a single-phase motor. So, correct answer is less than that of a single-phase motor. So, mas maliit yung ating three-phase motor kaysa rin sa ating single-phase motor. Number 85. Direct current or DC series motor are used in application where blank is required. DC series motor are used in applications where blank is required. Constant speed, high starting torque, low no load speed, and none of this. Excuse me. So, correct answer is high starting torque. Pag medyo mataas yung ating starting torque, so kailangan natin ng series motor. 86. Carbon brushes are used in commutator because blank. They lubricate and polish. Carbon is cheap. Resistance is decreased. None of this. Wait lang inom lang ang tubig. Okay. So, carbon brushes are used in commutator because A. They lubricate and polish. B. Carbon is cheap. C. Resistance is decreased. Or none of this. Ano daw ang pinakamagandang dahilan? Mas mura daw ba? Maas kaunti yung resistance? Or correct answer, they lubricate and polish. Okay, letter A. Ayos may baso pa. Inom mo ng tubig namamalat na yung aking boses Makati na yung lalamunan ko 87. A 480, 208, 120 volts three-phase transformer is connected in delta Y. Okay? The secondary line voltage of the transformer is blank in the secondary. Anong connection? Delta and Y. Delta and Y. So, ibig sabihin, delta yung primary mo, ang secondary mo ay Y. So, 480 ang iyong primary, secondary mo, 208 and 120. So, ano daw yung the secondary line voltage of the transformer is less than the phase voltage, equal to the phase voltage, greater than the phase voltage, or none of this. So, correct answer is greater than the phase voltage. Okay? So, ang pinagkukumpara natin dito ay yung ating secondary line voltage. Kasi pagdating sa secondary line, nakaway ka na. So, yung phase voltage mo, mas mababa yung phase voltage mo kaysa rin sa iyong sa iyong tinatawag na delta or yung ating secondary line voltage. Kasi hindi tuloy delta. Nakaway kasi yung ating nakaway kasi yung ating secondary. Kaya yung phase voltage mo ay mas maliit kaysa ron sa iyong line voltage. Okay? So mas malaki si line voltage kaysa dun sa ating phase voltage. Okay? Mas maganda talaga pag may face-to-face na isusulat mo yung kung bakit nangyari yun. Wala mo na akong blackboard dito pa. 88. Blank equipment or materials to which has been attached a label, symbol, or other identifying mark of an organization that is acceptable to the authority having jurisdiction and concerned with product evaluation that maintains periodic inspection of equipment or materials and indicates compliance with appropriate standards or performance. So ano daw ang tawag natin dyan? Ang haba-haba naman nun. So correct answer is labeled. Labeled ang tawag natin dyan. Labeled equipment. 88. 89. What is the reason the code requires each separate phase conductor to be located in the same raceway? Bakit daw yung requires each separate phase conductor to be located in the same raceway? To reduce inductive heat, to improve workmanship, to provide identification of the circuit, to assure balance resistance. So, correct answer, to reduce the inductive heat. Okay, so hindi pinaghihiwa-hiwala yan. A three-phase delta Y connected transformer for 80 volts primary. So, yung secondary natin ay 208, 120 volts. The secondary line is current is blank. So, naka-Y yung secondary line mo. So, syempre, alam na this. So, the secondary line current is equal to the secondary phase current. O, parehas yan. Greater than the secondary phase current, less than the secondary phase current. D, 1.732 times the secondary phase current. So, correct answer natin dito ay letter A. Equal to the secondary phase current. So, since naka-Y ka, syempre dadaan lang naman yung line mo, dinaanan lang naman yung line mo, yung phase natin. So, parehas lang sila ng current. Parehas lang sila ng kuryente. Pero yung voltage nun, mas lalaki yung voltage. Kasi nga, naka-Y. So, parang dalawa yung iyong dinaanan ng line voltage mo doon. 91. Circuit breakers. Circuit breakers shall be marked with a voltage rating no less than the nominal system. Voltage that is indicative of their capability to interrupt blank. Okay, circuit breakers shall be marked with a voltage rating no less than the nominal system. Voltage that is indicative of their capability to interrupt. Fault currents, number 1. 2. Fault currents from the phase to ground. 3. Fault currents between the neutral and ground. Okay. So, correct answer is all of them. Letter D, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. 92. A blank of a switch is that part of a switch which is used for making or breaking of a connection and which is electrically insulated from other contact making or breaking parts. So, A, line terminal, B, pole, C, contact block, D, operating yoke. Alin daw sa part ng switch ang gumagalaw talaga? So, syempre yung ating pole. Letter B, pole. Pole ang tawag natin doon. 92 is pole. 93, the point of attachment of service drop conductors to a building or other structure shall in no case be less than blank feet. Okay, so parang sumiral ko na to. The point of attachment of service drop conductors to a building or other structure shall in no case be less than blank feet. From service drop, papunta rin sa iyong bahay o sa iyong building, hindi dapat bababa ng gano'ng karami. 10, 12, 15, or 18 feet. So, correct answer is 10 feet. 10 feet. So, hindi bababa. Shall in no case be less than 10 feet. 94. An insulated ground receptacle shall be identified by blank. An insulated ground receptacle shall be identified by blank. Alin dyan? So, correct answer po natin dito, an orange triangle located on the face of the receptacle. Letter D. An insulated ground receptacle shall be identified by an orange triangle located on the face of the receptacle. So, that is an insulated ground receptacle. So, letter D, dog. '95. Kaunti na. Anong oras na ba? Sakto na yata. Alas 12 na. Tama-tama. The speed of the DC motor can be controlled by blank. A. Varying the armature current while the field current is held constant. B. Varying the field current while the armature current is held constant. Okay. Letter C. Varying the armature voltage while the field voltage is held constant. D. Varying the field voltage while the armature voltage is held constant. So, letter B. Varying the field current. Okay. So, field current ang iyong babaguhin. So, yung while the armature current is held constant. So, the speed of DC motor can be controlled by letter B, boy. 96. If a three-phase delta Y transformer bank having a 480 volts primary and 208 120 volts secondary. So, delta Y lagi yan kasi dalawa yung ating rating ng secondary. Is considered to be 100% efficient and to have resistive type loads. The maximum kVA of the load will be blank, equal to the kVA of the secondary of the transformer. 2. Equal to the primary kVA of the transformer. 3. Considerably less than the kVA of the transformer. Correct answer is 2 only. Equal to the primary kVA of the transformer. So, equal to the primary kVA of the transformer. Number 97. Surrounded by a case, housing, fence, or walls that prevent persons from accidentally contacting energized parts is blank. So, parang surrounded by a case, housing, fence, or walls. Parang style nito, switchyard, ganun. Ano bang tawag natin dyan? Enclosed, isolated, guarded, or concealed. So, ang tawag po natin dyan ay enclosed. A. Enclosed. 98. Means that equipment is not readily accessible. So, hindi readily accessible to persons with special means for access are used. So, A. Isolated. B. Guarded. C. Elevated. D. Concealed. Alin dyan ang pipiliin mo? Isolated, guarded, elevated, concealed. Is not readily accessible. So, correct answer po natin ay isolated lang. Not readily accessible. So, 99. Blank locations are those that are hazardous because of the presence of easily ignitable fibers or flyings. So, nasa PEC na to, Philippine Electrical Code na to. Philippine Electrical Code, pang PEC na to. Kamisan napapatanong din sa ating technical questions. Kamisan dun talaga sa PEC napapatanong. Pero bigyan ko kayo ng hint, yung tanong daw ng technical questions, ang dami daw dun sa mga binibigay kong mga questionnaires. Okay? Tapos pagdating naman dito ay professional subjects, PEC pala, PEC, parang professional subject daw ng electrical engineering. Kaya advantage talaga kapag ikaw ay nag-aral ng electrical engineering. Advantage yun. Pero kung ikaw naman ay talagang marami ng librong nabasa ng mga reviewer, napakadali na para sa inyo kasi yung naman nakuha na lang ng tanong yan kung saan merong ready na tanong, doon na lang sila nakuha. Kung nakuha niyo yung libro na yon, swerte na ninyo. Kaya malamang na ang pagpasa. Kaya pagka kayo po ay magre-review, kahit dito po sa live ko, pwede na baka kayo ay maging makatop notcher pa. Basta gagalingan nyo lang. Dapat talagang i-memorize nyo rin yung aking mga ilalagay dito sa ating YouTube channel. So, correct answer po dito ay class 3. Ignitable fibers or flyings. Class 3. Letter C. Pag sinabing may presence ng ignitable fibers or flyings, class 3. Number 100. A transformer would most likely have an efficiency of blank percent. 60, 70, 80. Mr. Decision Wise, anong sagot mo dito sa number 100? Dali lang yan. Number 100, basta transformer ang efficiency niya napakataas talaga. So 90%. Yung minsan ang pamimilian pa 95%, ganun. So yan. So yun. Maraming salamat sa iyong pakikinig. Wala na yatang nanonood sa akin. Nagtigil na naman ang live streaming ko. Ayan. So, balik na tayo sa bundok Banahaw. Okay. Maraming salamat. Dami nag-like. End stream na ako. Tingnan ko muna yung mga chat natin.